Hi guys, Versatile Shy here, and today we are going to discuss at-home laser hair reduction. Not necessarily removal. If you have been thinking about it and you were interested in probably saving a little bit of coin, tapped into like your wellness, self-care routines like myself, then this video is going to be for you. I'm going to be sharing with you guys today my results from using this machine, whether it's worth it to me, whether I should keep going with it, some do's and don'ts, and some things that I've learned from trying it out myself for going on 2 months. This is the laser that we're going to be discussing, you guys. This is the DermRays laser hair removal new generation, and it is the V6S 1064. It says laser hair removal, but really it's laser hair reduction, and I'll get into that momentarily. If you are melanin and you look like me, or you're darker, or you want to make sure that you're getting this type of razor, because this is the only FDA cleared laser that is proven to actually help reduce the hairs for our skin type as well as color. There's even an indication system on the back that tells you which hair colors will work as well as what skin colors. So if you are beyond this skin color, then it is not going to work for you. You also want to be careful with your hair in general, as well as if you have tattoos. Now, that was something I had to learn with my tattoos, and I ended up going over my thigh tattoo very on accident and burnt the living hell out of myself. So the retail price for it is $599 with tax, so $600 and some change. If you are on Facebook, I recommend looking this up, and then all of a sudden those Facebook ads will pop up and you'll get coupons and stuff like that for the device to be $100+ off. I ended up spending about $469 for this machine. I like that it comes with 30 million flashes, so that means I would have years for the device. The reason why I wanted to do laser hair reduction in the first place is because I'm a wax girly. Sometimes overstaying out, like overgrowing my wax routine, and I just felt like I was getting darker when I would do my waxing, especially down there in my Brazilian area. I wanted to have something a little bit less painful, even though I really do have a high pain tolerance, but I wanted to have something that would not have as much impact and still have flawless results, because I literally wanted no hair. Like, I wanted to be like the celebrities. Like, I learned along the way that there's really no such thing as actually removing your hair unless you do like electrolysis or something that's more involved to actually destroy the hair follicles fully. But then at the same time, I kind of view this like birth control, because birth control can take away our menstrual cycles, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is gone unless you actively remove something from the body that will allow you to not have it anymore. And we all know what that is. This machine is said to not be like an IPL. It's more of a laser. I guess there's a difference with having them. IPLs don't really work well with dark skin. When you look at brands like the Noon and stuff like that, they will tell you on their website, this is as far as it goes with skin, and that's for a reason. The wavelengths on this 1064 laser node is set for our type of melanin. It comes with a little dust cloth baggie here, and then there's some instructions inside. Here's what the device looks like. Pretty sleek. It's lightweight, portable. You can travel with the device. It easily powers on. Upon using it, the first thing I would do is take a shower. In that shower, I would shave. Now, this box also came with a razor of their sorts. What I would highly recommend is, if you are already a person that has a shave routine, stick to whatever shave that works. Use something like either an Intuition or a Billy razor, like a really good razor that will actually get all those growths and make you pretty smooth, because the less hair that you have poking out of the skin, the easier it will be to actually navigate and get the zaps done. Like, if you have hair sticking out on the root and you put this light over there without shaving, it's not really going to do anything, unfortunately, to penetrate. I would set my timer for 15 minutes, and then I would start from top to bottom. The first place I started working on using the laser was on my face. There was some gradual results from doing it on the face. Really happy with my skincare as well. Felt like there was some results up until recently. So with doing it, I started September 28th, 2025. I would start, now it is November 7th, so definitely over a month in this area, and I would do my sideburns as well as where I would get hormonal acne. And I did notice a visible difference with it not being as dark. Like, the laser just felt like it was targeting some of the melanin and getting rid of that discoloration that I have. Could be all in my head, but I felt like that was a win. Now, in terms of the hair, even now, I would say in those little stubborn areas, I do feel like I have the hairs are coming back. Granted, the box says for darker skin, you want to go longer, preferably around 8 weeks. For me, because my skin is already sensitive, I am struggling with having to constantly shave so much. So then when I go into the lower regions, like my Brazilian bikini area, the shaving was causing me to break out so bad. You have to shave every other day. In the first week, the first month, first 2 weeks are the most crucial. You have to do it at least 3 times a week. So I did that, and I noticed that the bumps were just there. And I was like, well, I don't want a Nestle Crunch looking bikini area. Still kept thugging it out a little bit and kept going until I was just like, you know what, I gotta take a break. And then I would have to apply like benzoyl peroxide on that area and kind of stop the treatments for a little bit so I can continue. But I would still discourse other areas. The first question people ask is, does it hurt? So here's what I would say. There are settings on the machine. Actually, I'm gonna plug it up for you guys so I can like kind of demonstrate it properly. 1 second here. Okay, now I have it plugged up. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, as soon as it turns on, it will power and be blue. You'll know that it's ready. Actually activate it, you want to hit the power button twice, and then you'll see it green. Now, once you put it on the skin where there's hair, laser will actively tell you that there's hair there and you'll hear it. So I'm just going to test it on my arm. I'm going to do it 1 time because I'm not actually serving to do a treatment. I just want to demonstrate for you guys. So here's my wrist here, and there is some hair there. You would put it on the hair area, and then you would hear it make those kind of noises. That's how you get it going. It does heat up. The other thing to pay attention to is the levels, how intense you want the laser to like kind of beam. The instructions state to start it with the first one, which is this one here. Simply tap it, and then you'll activate number 2, and then you tap it again and you'll activate number 3. Again, it is very crucial that you start off with the first one to get your body acclimated to it. Everybody's body's different. The laser on the 3rd setting didn't bother me, but I do know that I was very sensitive to using it at first with introducing it to my body. And it also has a cooling feature there. I can't really say it felt cool to me per se, but I guess it's just saying that instead of leaving that after effect of the laser constantly beaming, because you will feel a sense of heat, that it kind of shuts off on its own immediately. There are also 2 different methods that you want to use when you're using the machine. So the first one is what they call stamping. Stamping is what I just demonstrated, where you kind of just hold it, let it beat for 2 seconds, and then you remove it and go on to the next area. Then you have like the sliding or gliding where you kind of just do that on the skin. Now, I can't say which was or wasn't more effective. I'm not really sure, but I felt the most pressure when I did stamping as opposed to gliding. I felt more heat come out when it was sitting there for a second or 2 as opposed to doing that. In the areas where it was more intense, for example the bikini area and stuff, I started gliding down there first before then I would stamp after the 2nd week when I got used to it. Some aftercare, make sure that you moisturize heavily, or if you're sensitive or if you're more fair skin, that you use something like aloe vera gel or something like that. So what I would use was the Naturewell extra virgin coconut oil. I used this all over the body, including the bikini area. Nothing fragrant, and I didn't use none of my Bath and Body Works and all that stuff. I just used this, probably applied like an oil on top. It wasn't really bad though. My skin took really well to it. Another thing that you have to be mindful of is being out in the sun. So I'm out in the sun a lot because I live here in Florida. I made sure that I went with a very high SPF sunscreen. I always have sunscreen on my face no matter what I'm doing, in my neck area and stuff. But when I would do like this area here, I just made sure like my décolleté, all my face was covered. I never touched my arm, and then my leg, I always wear pants, but I still would put on sunscreen before I applied the pants just in case. What were my results with using this laser hair removal? I feel like it did more justice for my face. However, over time, those stubbles would start to come back. I would say for me, it definitely works on lighter hairs. For my coarser area, for example, my armpits, my bikini area, I didn't really see any results. But to be fair, it also mentions that you have to do it for at least 8 weeks. Because I was having trouble with the stubble and the ingrown hairs tremendously, having to shave every other day because the hair grows back like it's out of style after shaving, I felt like it wasn't really giving me the results that I wanted. Didn't sense any hair follicles like falling, or like, you know, if I would go like white or like past my area, any of the little hairs coming off like it said that it would. As far as darkness goes, would say that it was targeting some of the dark areas. Turn the camera off really quick so I can show you guys my armpit. So this is my armpit area. I have Diode deodorant on. As you guys can see, pretty dark still. Like those hairs are still coming through. I have not used the laser in a couple of days, and this is what I got after a couple of days. So, you know, it's pretty light. Like it's definitely lighter on me, but those stubbles are still coming through. Well, how long do I have to wait until the hair is like completely gone? When I would wax, I didn't have to worry about hairs coming for like weeks at a time. So for me, the areas that mattered the most to me were my armpit area, as well as the bikini area and below like the waist area. It did not seem like it was getting the hairs off. Like I wasn't seeing any reduction. I'm saying laser hair reduction because laser hair removal, from my personal experience now on its own, it doesn't necessarily remove the hair. It reduces the hair to make it more like thinner or finer so that it's not populating and growing like it was. You're using a heated device like this to actually zap the area so that the follicle cannot be as mature as it typically would be if you never touched anything with laser. Honestly, with having to have ingrown hairs, especially on my bikini area, it made me stop. Like I don't want my area to look like a Nestle Crunch Bar. Now with my legs, I would also say that I was getting some stubble with my legs after not using the machine for just a couple of days. I noticed that the little hairs would come back. Should you or should you not buy the DermRays laser? So it would vary significantly based on your hair color, formulation of the melanin, because there is a difference, density, and the growth phase. Most important part that I've realized with doing this is actually catching the hair at the growth phase, and that's gonna look different for a lot of people. For me, because I'm kind of like two-tone, like I have like a honey golden brown, but then I'm really dark in certain other areas, especially like down there, thinking maybe it wasn't as effective because of how dark that I am. If you are a person that has hormonal acne, then I would recommend trying this machine out, especially because the facial hairs tend to be more finer like they do on our arms. I did see a difference, the facial hair reduction, or at least I feel like it's given me some type of brightness and light to my face with using a laser. And it is so quick that it's just like boop, 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 boop. I feel if I am to keep this device, that I would probably just use it in those areas where it mattered to me. And honestly, that was still a big point because I don't want hormonal facial hair. Like, the other thing to note is that the home devices are less powerful. Think about giving it a try if you actually have patience. Wanting to be on the go, I'm constantly outside and traveling. I think the duration 2 to 3 months is a bit extreme. I do feel like if I keep going, at least with the face, it will serve my purpose. It will be fine. The other areas, not so much, like my armpit and my bikini area and even my belly here. I can show you guys my belly. Hairs and stuff like that here, they come back like it didn't really do anything here. And this area is not as dark as my armpit or my bikini area would be. I'm not lying about my results. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that to try to tell someone what to do or what not to do. I'm just sharing my honest feedback in terms of using it. It's an entry-level type of device. It is worth trying it if you definitely have the time to spare and you want to save yourself thousands of dollars. With all the things that I've listed in terms of things that you need to watch out for, like your growth phase, your hair density. That's another thing. My hair density is very thick. I have 4C hair and in certain areas it's just really thick. Now I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep the device. I'm inching towards starting the refund process because you do get 90 days money back guaranteed on the product with, of course, a 10% restocking fee. Yeah, for hygiene reasons, of course, that they have to throw that in there, but I do understand at least there's a guarantee with that, so you're not really stuck on using a device and it doesn't work for you. I hope this video was informative to help someone. I'm not like a specialist of any kind. I am just a beauty and skincare advocate enthusiast, and I love everything about beauty and skincare and anything that's going to help me along my journey of either not having to do so much or do less and still get the same results. So until next time, take care.